The Washington Commanders have hired a general manager. Adam Peters, the assistant general manager of the San Francisco 49ers, becomes the new GM in Washington. Of course, they already have a GM in Martin Mayhew. I think they set this up so that Mayhew will potentially stay in a lesser role. If you fire Mayhew and then hire a GM, kind of awkward to bring Mayhew back in a lesser role. And this whole thing, make no mistake about it. Remember, Chris, it was 8 days ago. We're doing the show after the regular season ends. The news is leaked that Bob Myers, the former Golden State Warriors GM, is going to be involved. Then they announced that Rick Spielman is going to be involved. There's a lot of stuff that was prearranged here, and I've heard from multiple different people. This Adam Peters thing was done weeks ago. And we know there's a formal search process they have to do. They have to comply with it, and they need to. But owners are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. They're going to do what they want to do. They knew this was going to be Adam Peters. Based upon people I've talked to, the belief is this was known for weeks that Peters was getting this job.
Peters has been close. We know that the last 2 years to getting GM jobs, right? He seemed like he was the next guy in line to leave that great San Francisco 49er front office and get the job. It's good to see him finally, get a team to make him the head man. And yeah, I mean, it was a little weird how they went about it, but I certainly am in favor of Adam Peters. Of course, knowing Shanahan and everything in San Francisco, he's a valued commodity. He's a big-time evaluator. I can understand why Washington wants him. Wait.
Is he the guy that talked him into Trey Lance?
Well,
is he the guy that talked him off of Mac Jones and into Trey Lance?
Listen, if you made me guess, I'd go, yeah, I think that Adam Peters was certainly behind the push in that building behind Trey Lance, right? And that didn't work out well. And certainly at the end of the day, it still goes back all on Kyle Shanahan. He has total control and makes that pick, and he's the offensive coordinator, and he's the guy that's got to love the quarterback. He did it. But, yeah, I agree with that. But either way, what they've built there is the biggest team of badasses in football, pretty much, other than maybe the Baltimore Ravens, who's got something to say about that. So I understand Washington liking a guy like Adam Peters and coming from an organization that, again, if they win this week, it's 4 to the 5 last NFC championship games. Certainly going to look good to any organization that's been, fumbling and bumbling around like Washington the last few years. And you bring up the Martin Mayhew thing too. Yeah, I wondered when he got hired yesterday and I heard Adam Peters, I was like, wait, did they fire Martin Mayhew yet? I hadn't even heard that. And I had to look it up. And then I went, well, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're going to keep him. They were working together in San Francisco. Maybe Adam Peters was like, wait, this guy knows how, I make the donuts behind the scenes. Maybe I keep him here. I don't know. But either way, I like the hire by the Washington Commanders.
Couple of quick points. They finessed this by saying they were looking for a director of football operations.
Yeah, that's right.
Title.
Right.
Then all of a sudden it becomes general manager. They knew what they were doing. They wanted to do it in a way where they could keep Mayhew and then keep Mayhew after that. Also, the belief is from the same people who thought this deal was done for weeks in advance that Ben Johnson's going to be the next head coach of the Commanders. And then finally, on this Belichick stuff, and I had said on Football Night in America that owner Josh Harris is enamored with the idea of Bill Belichick being the coach and only the coach of the Washington Commanders. They went into overdrive last week to tell any reporter who would listen and pass it along they're not interested in Belichick, and I got the same call. But at the end of the call, there was a caveat along the lines of course, things could change. Okay. I think that at the end of the day, there is a very strong desire with this new Commanders ownership to create the perception that they get their first choice, that they don't want to swing and miss. And we see that all the time. Look at what's happening with the Carolina Panthers. You want to create the impression of strength. We get who we want. We get the coach we want. We get the GM we want. We get our first choice. So I'm not saying Belichick's in play or will be in play. I have a lot of stuff gets done beforehand. And I think a lot of stuff was done here beforehand. And we're going to find out before too long Ben Johnson's the next coach of the Commanders unless something changes. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.